Hello YouTube, this is Gaming Dragon 360 and I am back with the 4th episode of Medieval 2 Total War, and we were trying to take Tripoli by force, but now we face major opposition from the Venetians in the area. I was not expecting them to have so many troops, but let's see if we can wither them down enough to defeat them either in one go or in multiple attempts. Or we can go either way. Now, as for my cavalry archers, I would want them here, and my Mamluk desert cavalry, I want them behind the cavalry archers. This will be my cavalry contingent of sorts. And let's place the infantry a bit behind, like this. The archers ahead in a single line, the rest of them spread as much as possible. Three men per column or row. So 3 men per row in a row. Let me just get the. So yeah. I want the archers up front and the javelins here. So yeah, what we're kind of hoping is that the enemy would come for this main infantry force trying to push us back, and instead ignore our, in doing so they'll ignore our cavalry contingents.
Our foe brings more men to the battle.
Now we need to send our troops to go and harass them. And this desert cavalry will just keep on marching after in the cover of these cavalry archers. So what we essentially do is we'll weaken unit after unit, since they are, according to plan, they're marching straight for our forces there. Well, because those are, as you would say, our main forces, our infantry forces. They're not powerful enough to hold the enemy back, but they're still going to be the center of focus for the enemy for now. And instead we use our more mobile forces to harass the enemy, and once their numbers per unit are withered down, we just charge at them with our desert cavalry units. The Arab cavalry units, sorry. So we're using Mamluk archers to great effect, as we have so far in this walkthrough. And these Mamluk archers, I've noted multiple times even before, were instrumental in defeating the Crusaders. The Crusader forces, when they attacked the Holy Land, they were very successful, very successful earlier on, but a couple of centuries later, those forces were withered down and battered in battle after battle because of these Mamluk cavalry archers. What they would essentially do is they would engage the enemy and force them to give chase, but they were, lighter units. They had lighter and faster steeds. What would happen essentially was stop firing at villains, fire this one. So what would happen instead is that the Mamluk units, when they would arouse the enemy to give chase, the enemy would do that, but there was no way that the Crusaders could catch up to the Mamluk cavalry. So instead, they would just launch a futile charge. The Mamluks would exploit an opportune moment whenever they got one, and then they would charge in full force and crush the Crusaders in their retreat. So this is precisely what we're doing right now, right here. I mean, that's not exactly how they did it back in the day, but this is pretty much an accurate recreation of how this mobile shock troops, mobile missile troops worked in coherence with our shock troops, like this. So now we've withered the soldiers and we crushed them, like that. And there's nothing that the rest of the army can do. I mean, they charge, I just simply run away. and now they're trying to charge at our main forces. Let's go and try and meet them in battle. I want to preserve my troop. Okay, I've been caught mid-charge. Let's go face them. So they've got mailed knights here. Mailed knights are quite solid troops. Our infantry line is pretty much lost, I would say. But I just want to give as much punch to the enemy as I can. Let's go and take down their general so that they can't further recruit any mercenaries later on. Once again, concentrate on the general. Okay, my units are routing. Let me try and reorganize as much as I can.
That shines on our disgrace. We must turn the wind of battle, or we will taste ashes instead of victory.
So yeah, there was no way we could have faced such a formidable force. I'm not trying to. What I'm essentially trying to do is to whittle down the enemy to the extent that when I attack the second time, they'll be weak and vulnerable. Let me just kill the general.
Sultan, only half our force remains. Curse the sun that shines on our disgrace. We must turn the wind of battle, or we will taste ashes instead of victory.
Not a problem at all. Let's go and kill the enemy general. Okay, they're bringing their cavalry back in an attempt to attack us. But our objectives right now are simply to kill the enemy general, inflict upon them as much damage as we can, and confine them to the city walls so that they can't retaliate. Let's try and do as much damage as we can, and then we'll retreat. These infantry troops were pretty much arrow fodder anyway. I never intended them to be of much use, even in a siege. I just wanted them for the siege towers and everything. I think the enemy general is about to be killed, or taken captive at least. Let's go on and take forward, take our forces, the remainder that we have got left, out of the field. Need to kill the enemy general first though.
Our men have slain the infidel general. Now the serpent's head has been cut off.
Our work is done
the
here.
tail is sure to wither.
Our work is done here, let's retreat. There's no way they can catch up to us. And I know it's a very major setback, but what we've done to the enemy is also
only blood and shame from this battle. Our accursed enemy rejoices amongst the blood of our fallen.
So they've killed around, only around 200 men of our original around 600 remain. That is a huge loss, but we have killed the enemy general, and their forces have also downsized considerably.
Yes,
We can accept the ransom, and we'll return and attack again, unless the rebels attack us first. So the Venetians conquered Jerusalem the previous turn, and now we have to take back Jerusalem, but only after take out the Venetian field force in the area. I've made this mistake in Tripoli, and assuming that the city was poorly defended. It was not. There was an enemy force nearby. I probably didn't notice it. But not to worry. We can always regroup and you know, attack again. See what the rest of them were up to. I just hope that the rebels don't attack, because that would be problematic. Yeah, sure.
Orders.
Now, our forces
Orders, mighty
are pretty
Sultan.
much tired at the moment.
Course set.
How may I serve, Sultan?
Let's
On to the ships.
stay here and okay, the
We will
Venetians
see you dead.
are not,
hidden.
as I presumed earlier on, they're not weak in this area. They are actually very strong here, and now they
Talk
plan
is
on
cheap. Come face me.
Sultan.
they plan on incurring even greater losses
How
to
may I
us now.
serve, Sultan? Orders.
Just regroup as much as we can,
Orders.
and Arab cavalry, yes. And Acre, let's produce a couple of units here. We can't. Financial problems don't allow us to. But we will take Antioch in 2 turns. That will give us much needed financial boost. And I think we will have to
Orders, mighty
we
Sultan.
have to return to Heraklion for now, because
Yes, Sultan.
the
We must anchor
Venetians
until
are
morning.
very well defended in Tripoli. I think it's best if we take them out of Jerusalem first, and then we can concentrate our attacks on the Venetians here in North Africa. I mean, facing them on both ends is pretty much a futile struggle. Let's see what we are doing wrong here. Corruption and other king purse taxes. Let me see what we are building. Are we building something? Not here, not here. No. Okay, we are building a stone wall upgrade. No problem. Training troops, nothing here. Rhodes. So we conquered Rhodes as well. We beat the Byzantines to it. But the Byzantines are allies, so we didn't, raise any hostilities against the Byzantines. We just took the city when the Byzantines weren't here. They were thrown out of the walls by the rebels, and we just took our chance. Let's see what else we can do.
Sultan.
Let's try and harass this
We shall
force,
end this
and
day
then
in
we can
triumph.
retreat once again as we did
Consider nothing this day,
in
except
the previous battle. Just cause damage and run. That's it. The goal is to weaken the enemy to the extent that they will not be in as good a shape as they are at the moment to face us in battle when we do find a
Our
suitable
foe brings more men to the
moment
battle.
for them to face us. So once again, a simple raid of sorts. We don't intend to win this battle. It's not even a battle, it's more like a screening attack of sorts. Just want to kill as many troops as we can and then retreat. So the enemy has a fairly decent force, but as you notice, the quality of the troops is not, the best. These are religious fanatics, people, poorly armed, peasant-like troops. You can get them cheap during crusades, and this is exactly what this Venetian general did. I made the mistake of ransoming him and not doing anything while he was still there. I should have attacked the second time as well. Instead, I sent my forces to attack Antioch. That was where I was mistaken. That was my mistake. I should not have done that. But it's okay. It's never too late to rectify one's errors. And that is precisely what I'm doing here right now. As soon as they come, we can retreat. Yes, like that. retreats to avoid any serious damage. Just take out the Crusader Knights, the cavalry troops. Comparatively more valuable. We can speed this up a bit. And yeah, we're doing fairly decent amount of damage to the Crusaders. It's only a matter of time that we destroy them. They're forming a line. Why are they forming a line? It's not like they can do me any harm with this way. And okay, these Crusader sergeants seem very resilient. They're taking. I mean, can you imagine how horrifying it would have been in reality? I mean, the way they're facing arrows, and this is precisely how these arrow volleys came at the soldiers during those times. But they are well guarded. It is apparently no use trying to attack them. Instead, let's take out the Crusader Knights. They would be much more vulnerable to arrow fire. Let's see what we can do. Retreat and fire, retreat and fire. That's how these Mamluk troops work. We got a fairly decent amount of damage already. Let's retreat, retreat, retreat. And again, firing wherever we can. Religious fanatics chasing us, and I mean, numerically speaking, one would assume that this force is overwhelmingly strong, but it's actually not. Qualitatively, the force is very subpar. Let's see if we can face these Crusader Knights. I think we've done enough. Let's retreat. And we'll send them off to run. Let's send our forces back from where they came from. The desert. The Crusaders won't be able to chase us all the way there.
And are becoming tired. Allah be merciful. Death and defeat have come to
So
sup
we
at
lost
our
around
table.
52 of our men,
Let
but
us
the
pray
enemy
they
lost
do
around
not visit again for
170.
some time.
Now, I can see the losses that I'm facing are serious,
Inshallah,
but
we
the
will
problem
have our
for the
revenge.
enemy is that okay, the Holy Roman Empire abysmal, relationships poor with Turks and Papal states. Okay, no problem at all. We'll try to rectify that. But the thing is, as I was saying earlier
Name
on,
the
that
field of battle.
they
We will
can't
meet you
replenish these numbers. They can't have more of these troops because, you see, the Crusader fever is gone. They can't call another crusade. They enter into rebellion. Okay, let's hope the city does rebel and we can exploit that. Baghdad. 2 turns and this city falls. End of turn.
Blockading the foreigner's port.
Now we're trying to do as much damage as we can to the Venetians in the region, but they are strong. The only way we can substantially.
What is it you would talk to us about, senor?
Just a second. Let me just make an alliance and map information, and trade rights.
I cannot quite accept.
Alliance and map information. Okay.
Magnifique! Merci for... Très bien!
So
We
they
shall
don't
speak
want
again.
to give. Okay, they have given us our map their map information. Just didn't want ours. I don't know what kind of diplomatic logic that is, though. But okay, so as long as it works, let's go with it. So this entire strip of North Africa is under the control of the Venetians. I mean, up till Barca, I guess, or what is modern day Libya. I think that's modern day Libya. I'm not sure. And beyond that is the Moors, or the Almohads, Almoravid empires. And we take up our place in Egypt, the Holy Land, Arabia, and now also in Iraq and Syria. Let's see if we can kick them out of the Holy Land and then out of North Africa, one place at a time. Alliance, France and Egypt. Okay, yes, we did that. So we are losing money, and Damascus is rioting. I think it's in our best interest to reinforce Damascus as quickly as we can. Antioch will surrender the next turn. Yeah, we have to minimize our spending, it would seem.
How may I serve, Sultan?
Let's try and get rid of as many troops as we can here.
Orders. How may I serve, Sultan?
We'll have to lay off a lot of troops because we can't really afford them. And
Sultan. How may I serve, Sultan?
we need to manage our expenses accordingly, right?
Sultan.
Let's get rid of the cavalry and send
Our enemies will
this
suffer.
cavalry
Sultan.
contingent on its way to aid, possibly aid any efforts to retake Jerusalem. What about Damascus, though? I would assume that we can. There's no way to improve the public order. Do we even have an army here?
How may I serve,
Well,
Sultan?
it would be best to dismantle the forces here and dismiss the forces here. The rebels can take over the city, or perhaps the Venetians, and we'll take it over in the next turn. I don't have enough resources to go and settle this dispute there. Okay, 3 units of Arab cavalry. Ragusa belongs to the Venetians.
Great Sultan.
Let's
Attacking
go
the
and
infidel fleet.
destroy the rebel fleet in the area.
Infidel surrenders the
And
sea.
let's bring our forces
Inshallah,
back to
our wind
Heraklion.
shall be fair. Orders, mighty Sultan.
From Heraklion, we will have
Yes,
to
Sultan.
reinforce
must
perhaps
anchor
the
until
Holy
morning.
Land and Egypt as well in time, if there is a direct attack. I mean, my borders here are vulnerable because the Venetians, if they do decide to do so, they can march on Alexandria, Cairo, and Dongola, and I don't have enough defenses to save any of these cities. This is an unfortunate reality. But I do have my forces in Heraklion, so if given enough time, I may be able to mount a counter-offensive. For now, I need to look at the affairs in Holy Land. And so far, I think that's about it. We've tried to cut down our expenses as much as possible. The idea is to, limit our spending for as long as we need to, and then we can always spend more when we have more. The Byzantines are landing on Rhodes. I think they're about to break the alliance. I think that they might. If they do, then we'll have the perfect excuse to take on Cyprus. I mean, our realm does not border mainland Byzantine realms, right? But we can take Cyprus, and then we'll have 3 islands in the Mediterranean: Crete, Rhodes, and Cyprus. We already have Crete and Rhodes. And what are the rebels up to? What if heretics say, let's kill them?
Long live the warriors of Islam!
Okay, so Antioch
These lands
is
are
now
ours!
fallen. Let's see. Exterminate population or sack the settlement. I say we'll sack the settlement. And Damascus is now a rebel city. which port and what some of the best units in the country available. Explorer's Guide. Okay, sure. So the finances are back on track. The projected profits are still in the negative, but we can help that with
Na'am, great
downsizing our
Sultan.
forces even
Horse
further.
Inshallah,
especially in
the wind
roads.
shall return tomorrow.
No, we can't do that in roads. We have some of our best troops here. Well, let's take out the desert cavalry. We don't need desert cavalry. I think mounted troops are more than enough. And
How may I serve, Sultan? How may I
let's
serve,
take these
Sultan?
troops outside and bring our navy
Orders, mighty Sultan.
to Rhodes so that
Inshallah,
we
our
may be
wind
able
shall be
to,
fair.
Infidels to kill, Sultan.
you know,
Na'am.
escape if the Byzantines do decide to attack. Otherwise, this entire contingent is lost. So Antioch has fallen. Let's see what we can do here. Build a port. Build third roads. Port, I guess. We need to connect it with our chain of ports in the Holy Land. Let's see if we have any agents here. Oh, we do.
Salam alaikum.
Let's go. And kill them. Perfect. Any more agents? I guess not. Let's train. No more training. Let's just send this
Shubadak.
general to
By
Gaza,
your will.
and
Yes.
instead we
An
can.
honor to serve.
How may I serve, Sultan? Na'am. Sultan. How may I
Let's
serve,
go and
Sultan?
attack Jerusalem. So just maintaining siege here and let's see if they come forward and face us in a battle.
As my Sultan will.
He's the faction leader of Venice, so yeah, I mean if they do come forward, and as you can see that they have not replenished their numbers because they can't. They've made the same mistake that I made while countering them. They've spread their line of attack
Orders,
too
mighty Sultan.
thin, and now it's impossible for them to reinforce both Jerusalem, North Africa, and mainland Venice. And that's how we took the islands from them. The
Orders, mighty Sultan.
navy is there.
Speak to our dignitaries, dear allies.
Okay, the allies are still allies. I can build something else. Ballista maker, masjid, shisha bar, town hall. Well, let's make a market, improve our trade. Trade is pretty much the staple of your economy. I mean, if you trade more, you earn more. The rest of the industries like agriculture and stuff like that, I mean, it wouldn't be fair to call them industries, like just the sectors, financial sectors like agriculture and so on can only yield you so much. You'll have to trade to improve your financial standing as much as you'd want to. And turn, I guess. So I'm not sure what the Byzantines are planning right now, but if they do take Rhodes, and they can take Rhodes if they decide to, they have the numbers, they have the strong military presence in the area to do so. I think they're retreating. And yes, this is precisely what I was
It is an
expecting
honor to
them to
defend
do.
your walls against this siege, Sultan.
They have attacked Rhodes. Now that gives us a political excuse to attack Cyprus. Now, had we done that ourselves, we would have been deemed untrustworthy by the rest of the realms. No, I don't think so. So the Byzantine Empire has betrayed us. Not to worry. We will retaliate massively in due
Na'am, great
time.
Sultan. Yes,
Disembarking, mighty Sultan.
Let's see if we can
orders. Yes, Sultan. Closing to
destroy
engage.
the Byzantine Navy here.
The sea is yours, great Sultan.
And
Course set.
this is perfect.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
Let's
Joining the fleet,
retrain
Sultan.
the navy. We want to have
How may I serve,
naval
Sultan?
dominance in the region now to challenge the Byzantines. Let's see if we can send more troops.
Na'am.
Yes, we
How
can.
may I serve, Sultan? Alarm.
Let's go and kill this one as well. Perfect.
At once.
Now the Imam has been sent forward to take a look at Damascus. So the Turks control Mosul, part of northern Iraq as it may, and we control Baghdad, southern Iraq. So there is a point of contention here, but we let me check if the Turks, where are the Turks? How the Turks feel about the Byzantines. The Turks feel that the Byzantines are their enemies, right? So let's try and negotiate something with the
Nuh-uh, my
Turks.
Sultan. Nuh-uh. As you will, Sultan. Yes, Sultan.
Let's try and negotiate
Tomorrow's
an
journey
alliance with the
awaits.
Turks against the Byzantines, which we will honor by attacking Cyprus. We have forces in Acre, and we can do so, and in Antioch as well. Let me just
How may I
send my
serve, Sultan?
mobile cavalry
Orders.
troops
Orders.
down south
We
here,
move,
so
Sultan.
that we can move on
Continuing
Cyprus in the
tomorrow,
next turn.
mighty Sultan.
Our enemies will suffer. We
Now,
will see you dead.
they have a strong military presence in the area,
Na'am, great Sultan.
and
Infidels to kill, Sultan.
Sultan.
Yes.
let's go and dismantle most of these troops. I mean, we can't rescue them.
Sultan.
Infidels to kill, Sultan.
And no, the only thing we can hope is that they don't attack directly and instead wait for.
Talk is cheap. Come
They
face
don't
me.
have a siege. They don't have siege equipment yet, so perhaps they will wait.
Orders, mighty
And
Sultan.
if that is the case, we can bring about our navy and rescue our troops here. And yeah, that's it. Enter. The Byzantines betrayed us. I was expecting this much. The diplomacy logic in this game is not very solid. I mean, it made no sense for the Byzantines to betray us. Yes, we took Rhodes, but it was in their best interest to stay at least neutral.
Na'am, great Sultan.
And
Until death.
what the hell?
Nonsense!
How
We
is that
must
even
retreat!
possible?
Like the weary camel, now we must tread.
We will not surrender these waters, these.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
Let's reorganize.
Orders, mighty Sultan. Orders, mighty Sultan. Orders, mighty Sultan. Orders, mighty
And-
Sultan.
Yeah.
Na'am. Sultan. Sultan. Orders.
Let's join this unit here.
How may I serve, Sultan? Orders. Alarm.
Orders, mighty.
And
Orders, mighty.
Orders. Ordering the transport.
let's send
Moving
this
the men ashore. Sultan.
army to
The
Cyprus.
infidels' army will not survive. Besieging the enemy.
I don't think we can use this with cavalry though. Let's just
Have the
maintain siege, and
infidels
in
under
8 turns they
siege,
will
Sultan.
surrender. Or we can build. We can
Na'am.
build. Yeah, I would
Sultan.
say that
We
the
shall end this day in
relationships are
triumph.
poor.
Mighty Sultan.
They were the
We
ones
will
to
wait
betray
them out
us
for
anyway.
strike.
Yes, my master, is something you wish to speak of?
Allies Venice, enemies the Byzantine Empire. Okay, so the Venetians are their ally, and the I don't think we can. Let's make an offer. Let's make them a single payment of 100 florins.
The answer, I'm afraid, is no. Very well.
So the Turks don't
Mazala.
want 100 florins from us. Shows that the situation is indeed poor.
How may I serve,
Dismiss
Sultan?
these
Sultan.
troops.
Orders. How may I serve, Sultan?
And what about Jerusalem? It is under siege here.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
We will have to go forward and
Yes,
reinforce our navy
Inshallah,
Here?
the winds shall return tomorrow.
and send some naval troops from here as well. Let's see if we can mount successful naval counterattack. And yeah, enter. We can't really ally with the Turks because the Venetians are at our gates and we have to. Oh. Automatically resolve. Obviously going to die. Just a single unit defending the entire island. Let's see how long they can hold on to this island. They've given us a perfect excuse to dominate the Mediterranean now. We'll need the best navy for that and also very good economic situation for our empire. And a noble death. Yes, that was indeed a very noble death.
Naam, great Sultan. Course set. We must anchor on orders, mighty Sultan.
Let's rescue
Inshallah.
our
Shubadak.
Naam, great Sultan.
Infidels to kill, Sultan.
Aboard combining fleets.
So yeah, we
Orders, mighty
rescued
Sultan.
our general.
Yes, Sultan.
Na'am.
Let's see how much we can
How may I serve, Sultan?
afford to
Sultan.
lose or give up here. 64.
Na'am.
Merging
As
our
you will.
troops. Retraining them. Also, let's train another one. So we faced a major setback without gaining much ground except for Antioch, and that too is a frontier town, so we may have to contend with the aggressive Turks sooner or later. But as for Nicosia, it's a poorly defended area, so I don't see there would be any problem with that later on. Let's just transport most of these troops to Heraklion, and then from there we regroup and take back Rhodes. And by that time we would have also taken back Nicosia and Jerusalem.
I'm honored to serve.
How do we declare jihad? How can we declare the jihad? I'm not sure exactly how we do that. Do we do it from Cairo? I'm not sure exactly how we declare the jihad. I think from Baghdad? Diplomacy. I'm trying to figure out how we can declare jihad against the Venetians. I mean, it was pretty much like the Crusades. It's a holy war, but I'm not sure how we can do so. Okay, very well. We'll take on Jerusalem anyway. And turn. The Venetians are stronger than anticipated, but their presence in the Holy Land is very sublime. And in North Africa, it appears that they don't have any expansionist ambitions, as first anticipated. We will have to take the Byzantine navy out first if we want to take over this chain of islands. That's the only logical conclusion of what just happened. We outnumbered them and they defeated us in a naval battle. That's just, I mean, it's kind of
Great
worrisome.
Sultan. Yes, Sultan.
So
Closing to engage.
we destroyed this
The
navy.
infidel surrenders the sea. Orders, mighty Sultan.
Let's disembark.
Ubedak.
Let's disembark here. And
Naam, great Sultan. Inshallah, our
Let's
winds shall be
put
fair.
Nicosia's
Control access
port
to this port now,
to
Sultan.
siege as well.
Orders, mighty Sultan. Course set. Naam,
Oh,
great
right.
Sultan. Orders, mighty Sultan.
That
Attacking
was,
the
oh
infidel
my
fleet.
god, what was that?
The sea is
That was a
yours,
mistake,
great
by the way. I just
Sultan.
wanted to double team on them, but it was a heroic victory.
Yes, Sultan. Closing to engage.
Ah, great.
This battle is
Now
lost.
after-
Flee for your life.
Oh, the Venetians are going to love this
Inshallah,
one.
the winds shall return tomorrow.
The Venetian navy is going to love this one.
Orders, mighty Sultan. Inshallah, our winds shall be fair.
Let's go forward with doubling up our production wherever needed.
Orders, mighty Sultan. Course set. We must anchor
We'll
until
double up,
morning.
double team here, then get some of our troops to Heraklion to prepare for an attack on Rhodes. In 4 turns, the Venetians are going to give up. Aleppo to the Seljuk rebels, and Damascus, I guess as well, belongs to the Seljuk rebels. And there isn't much to do anyway, and turn. This is the Venetian cardinal, he can become the Pope. If he does become the Pope, it would benefit Venice vastly, and it would be bad for us. So what are the Turks up to? Trading here? It has been discovered that an ore from the Asia Minor region of Magnesia that tracks iron also can make a piece of that metal orientate itself to point to the north as reliably as the devout Muslim would turn to face Mecca. This strange phenomena has been captured in a small device known as a compass that cartographers and navigators have begun embracing in earnest, claiming it will take much of the guesswork out of the art of exploration and map making. Okay, so Asia Minor is where the Turks are right now. So France and Milan are at war with each other. Jerusalem, how long till they surrender? 3 turns. Nicosia, 5 turns.
Naam, great Sultan. Orders, mighty Sultan.
We need to
Naam, great
merge
Sultan.
these fleets
Orders.
and
How may I serve, Sultan? Naam. How may I serve, Sultan?
I think these are more than
Naam.
enough.
Remove, Sultan.
Let's just move slowly through the northern
Orders,
route.
mighty Sultan. Inshallah. Naam, great Sultan.
We can't merge these fleets. We can just keep them together at least.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
And
Naam, great Sultan.
let's see.
Attacking the infidel fleet. Victory, Sultan.
send
Horse set.
a small fleet here near roads, and just to kind of give the impression that we can do that, and also to keep an eye on the Byzantines in roads. Oh, they're taking it quite hard. So as for the Venetian troops in here, if at all possible, we'll ransom the faction leader once again. But I do plan on killing every last bit of these soldiers as much as I can. We only have a single unit
Yallah,
defending
my
Gaza.
sultan wishes you dead. I will not waste words on you, infidel.
Again, poorly defended Egypt. We need to blockade this port, I guess. How many turns remain? 5 turns remain. Oh, we can send this ship when it's ready. What else can we do? Well, not much. Enter. Europe is going to break into wars of its own as well, but I want to consolidate my control over the Venetian territories in North Africa, all of Holy Land, and then the Byzantine holdings in Europe. I mean, not Asia Minor. Through Greece, I want to start conquering the Greek territories of the Byzantine Empire, so that I can have a clear shot at Europe from the southern route. Alternatively, if the Moors come into clash with me, I'll have to take them out of the equation and then begin my invasion through the Iberian Peninsula. But I think that would be much harder to do. The Turks might be a problem, and even more so the Mongols and the Timurids to follow later on.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
What size of an army is in here?
Orders, mighty
Let's
Sultan.
go and take out this.
Yes, Sultan. Closing to engage. The infidels. Naam, great Sultan.
Let's.
Yes, Sultan. Orders, mighty Sultan.
We have now asserted
Naam,
our
great
dominance
Sultan.
over this region. Roads.
Inch. Orders, mighty Sultan.
Can
Orders,
we
mighty
reach them in
Sultan.
a single turn? Yes, we can.
Na'am,
Let's
Sultan.
send all that we
How may I
have,
serve, Sultan?
everything,
Na'am.
at them,
How may I serve, Sultan?
like most of it.
We move. Ashore at once. Resting.
Naam, great Sultan. Orders, mighty Sultan.
Let's go and face
Naam,
these
great
troops.
Sultan. Orders, mighty.
Disembarking, mighty Sultan.
Yes.
So now we've landed our armies in Rhodes, and
Name the field of
while
battle.
the
We
Byzantines
will
may
meet you
try to counterattack, this is obviously a one-sided battle.
Orders, mighty
We are
Sultan.
going to all but
Naam,
destroy
great
the
Sultan.
Byzantines here.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
Nicosia is going to fall in 4 turns.
Sultan.
We have around 5 units laying siege to it. That's more than enough. And when Jerusalem in 2 turns, yeah. We should also have roads soon enough, even if we have to assault the city. Oh, they had the opportunity of escaping via their naval fleet, but they chose not to do that. Instead, what they did is they have locked themselves up inside the city walls. Very unwise. The Turks are taking a beating from the rebels. Oh, when are the English and the French going to go at war? The English do have, apparently they do have down here some territory in northern France. Hungary, relationship improved. Poland, good. France and Scotland are allies, and Papal States and Portugal are allies. Is this force even big enough to threaten us? It would appear it is. Straight 3 arrow cavalrymen, then that's more than enough to hold them back.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
Let's
Orders, mighty Sultan. Orders, mighty Sultan. Orders, mighty Sultan.
go and double team on them, destroying their fleet.
This orders, mighty Sultan.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
We can't retrain for now. In 3 turns, they've barricaded themselves inside.
Shubadak. Infidels to kill, sir. Orders. The
Let's
infidels
go and lay
army will
siege on
not.
them.
Our enemies will stop. What is the Sultan's will? How may I serve? Taking those under my command. How may I serve, Sultan? Na'am, as you will.
I think we can set all of them in one army.
Allah.
Yeah.
Joining the ranks.
So now Rhodes is under siege, and they're pretty much done for.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
Let's see if we can
Blockading the foreigner's
blockade this port as well. We're going to hurt, attack the Byzantines where it hurts the most.
Great Sultan.
You want us gone? Then do.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
I want to
Attacking the infidel fleet.
destroy,
Victory, Sultan.
cut off any retreat
Name
that
the
they may
field
have.
of battle. We will meet you there.
So the Byzantines are pretty much cornered here now. I mean, my naval forces are
Orders,
far
mighty
from being superior or anything.
Orders, mighty Sultan. Orders, mighty Sultan.
We do
Inshallah,
have the
our
edge
wind shall be
in
fair.
terms of our ground troops, and we have successfully managed to transport them where needed, so there's nothing the Byzantines can do now.
Orders, mighty Sultan. Combining fleet. Na'am, great Sultan.
Talk is
Okay.
cheap. Come face me.
So we have
Admiring the
oh, they're trying to launch a surprise attack here to safeguard Jerusalem. Oh, I understand. We'll have to take out Mamluk archers then. Or break siege here to face this force.
You want us gone? Then do something about it.
I think it's best if we break the siege of Jerusalem for now. I mean, we can always come back for Jerusalem. But this force, if it manages to...
We will not surrender these waters easily.
best what they can do. They're apparently not aiming for Egypt. Because if they were, they would have landed here or here. But they're landing here in the Sinai near Gaza. They either want to relieve forces in Jerusalem or they can wheel around and attack us here. Either way, I think we should continue our siege, not break it. Let's take Jerusalem next turn and then attack the Venetians. In 3 turns, Nicosia is going to surrender, and in 8 turns, Rhodes is going to surrender. Enter. The Byzantines are... I'm assuming that they're sorry that they attacked us. They have not landed their troops. So, the Venetian king's final stand. I think it was Venetian Doge or something like that. The Venetian leader was called Doge or something like that. Not king, but I'm not sure. Well, it's his final stand. In any case, we are going to decimate
Battle
this
appears
army
to be
now.
running in our favor. From good tidings such as these, does victory spring forth.
We have 3 cavalry archer troops. Let's go and harass them. And I think we won't allow them to form up. Let's go and attack them now. All out attack without mercy. The Venetian king has been surrounded.
Victory is well within our grasp. In time, our foe will surely see this and lose heart.
Oh yes, I think they already have. General's heavy cavalry to take on these peasants. And I think they're pretty much goners. Break away and retreat. Let our cavalry archers contingents do their work. Let's kill the remnants of this unit, the religious fanatics. And retreat. I don't want to give battle to the Venetian king. He's a goner anyway.
The enemy king was bolder than a rooster, but no less dead for that.
Let's
Scatter his men to the four winds.
now attack. Now is the time to attack. They've lost their king. Their morale is down. We can attack them and crush their spirits now.
Our foe fights with horns made of clay. We are winning the battle.
Let's clear out the remainder of the troops. Yeah, we pretty much won. That's it. Let's speed it up. Let's attack. And whatever's left of the enemy, we'll just destroy now. Remember how they entered Jerusalem? It was pretty much the same way.
Is ours.
With 87 losses, we have
It cannot be.
utterly destroyed, utterly vanquished the enemy's forces. And their king died defending Jerusalem.
Alhamdulillah! Your faith and courage
So
have
Jerusalem is now
triumphed.
ours.
The word of the
Let's
blessed prophet will be
exterminate the
spread
population here for peace and order. Should have done that earlier on. I know it's very bad exterminating the population of a holy city, but you know, I kind of had to. I guess all the Venetian loyalists must be very disappointed right now in the city. Jerusalem is ours, and now we can retaliate against this naval intrusion as well.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
Oh yeah, we failed this mission. Well, I was kind of busy trying to reclaim my
Orders, mighty
territory.
Sultan.
Excellent.
You want us gone?
Is it not obvious I am your foe, infidel? Orders, mighty Sultan.
Let's see.
Yes, Sultan. Closing to engage. The sea is yours, great Sultan. Until death.
Let's see. Clear victory. Excellent.
The infidel surrenders the sea.
In 2 turns, they're going to give up Nicosia. The Byzantine port of Smyrna is now under our grasp. This
We will
force
see you
has
dead,
no way
heathen.
to retreat. And
As
now
my
we're going to
Sultan
bring the
wills.
battle to them.
Order. This will be an honorable battle.
Now
Alhamdulillah!
we are
Allah
going
has
to
granted us
destroy
victory!
the last remnants of Byzantine presence in Crete, giving us complete control over the Mediterranean islands once we have taken over Rhodes and Cyprus. Soon enough. These are mostly siege equipment, all of them, siege equipment. I think the rest of the army was destroyed when we sunk their naval fleet. Now imagine this being your position. You are an artillery commander and all of a sudden you're facing a cavalry charge. There's nothing you can do about it, right? And just look at it. The horrible sight. Let's go and face them. Let's go. It's pretty much a moot point. Resistance is
Victory
futile.
is well within our grasp.
Just going to crush the
Time our
enemy.
forward. Enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men. Behold our worthless foe. See how our enemy flees before us like a herd of goats.
battle.
Great victories are like sweet.
And yeah, we've crushed the Byzantines. They have nowhere to run though, so they're going to die.
Alhamdulillah! We have prevailed!
They could have
As my
retreated
Sultan
when they had the chance, but they didn't. And now
great
we
Sultan.
have attacked with all our ferocity. Antioch, let's build something. Paved roads. That's good. Paved roads are good. What else can we do? Bazaar. Mines, those are good. What to do about this
We will not surrender these
Venetian
waters
naval fleet?
easily.
Now we have our troops here. We don't have a port in Jerusalem, let's make one. Where's army?
Na'am. Orders. Na'am.
Let's send as many as we can to
Remove
Gaza, so that if the Venetians do decide to
Admiring
move
the
on to
enemy.
our territory, we can at least mount some form of a counter-offensive.
Na'am. How may I serve,
And
Sultan?
send this unit
Yalah.
in there as well.
Na'am. How may I serve, Sultan?
Regroup.
Orders. Sultan.
Expand. Roads. Enter. The Byzantines have lost considerable influence in the region, and they were benefiting from the alliance as well because they had trade rights and everything with us. And now, economically speaking, they are in a much dire situation than us. We, on the other hand, stand to gain a lot from this war. Blockade this port, and there has been a storm. Oh,
Orders, mighty Sultan.
let's try and bring our forces
Na'am,
back.
great Sultan. Yes, Sultan.
Recruit more ships because we have another Byzantine
We
navy
will
in
not
the
surrender these
area.
waters easily.
In one turn, they're going to surrender.
Admiring the enemy.
What else can we do? What else can we do?
We will not surrender these waters easily.
I serve the faith.
Take care of him. No heretics in the Holy Land. What else? What else? This is a sizable
Admiring
naval
the
force.
enemy.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
We do have an army here, but a navy here, but I don't think it will be enough
Orders, mighty Sultan.
Okay, enter. Let's see if the Byzantines even attack us. After all the losses they've sustained, I don't think they will. Oh, they have.
Orders, Captain.
A clear defeat.
Horses, we must retreat. Inshallah, the winds we must
They've broken
anchor
our
until
naval
Inshallah,
supremacy
winds
in the
shall
region.
return tomorrow.
And now they have blockaded the port.
All praise is due to Allah for granting this victory.
Not a problem though.
Allah, the most
We are
merciful, has
going
delivered
to
us.
take over
Victory.
Sac settlement. I couldn't see what had to be done. Ah, the Turkish merchants trying to get their way, but they failed. They failed. Let's see. Foreign merchant required. Excellent. Largest faction. Wow, your legacy of conquest is unmatched. You hold more land than any foreign king, emperor, or lord. Your people lay claim to more of the world's surface than any other known to man. That's excellent, and we're only beginning right now. Yeah, okay, the imam here died from natural causes apparently.
Naam, great Sultan. Merging with orders, mighty Sultan.
We'll have to
Orders,
bring
mighty
these
Sultan.
ships to Alexandria
Course
now
set. We must orders, mighty Sultan.
and retrain from Alexandria. You can go to Gaza.
Yes, Sultan. Like the weary camel,
Alexandria.
now we must rest.
They must also come to Alexandria. A small masjid, a blacksmith, and let's retrain these units. Jerusalem fell to us. Now we have to take out Damascus. First Rhodes, because we need to wither out the Byzantine forces here in the Mediterranean before we can do anything.
We will not surrender these waters easily.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Neither will we. We now have the ability to, you know, put more ships in the sea, and we should. Enter. Not much to be done. Once we take Rhodes, I think that will be the end of this episode. And in the next episode, our goal will be to kick the Venetians out of North Africa, and then begin our march on.
Sultan, our fleet
This
is
is
under
going
attack.
to suck.
This battle is lost. Flee for your life. We must anchor until morning.
The Byzantine fleet is simply too strong. But not to worry, we have the Mediterranean islands now in our grasp. Slowly but surely we will build up our strengths and attack the Byzantines where it hurts the most. Constantinople. What can we do? What can we do?
Orders, mighty Sultan. Combining fleets. Naam,
What
great
can we
Sultan.
do?
Orders, mighty Sultan. Split. Combining fleet. Orders, mighty Sultan. Naam, great Sultan. Orders, mighty Sultan. We must anchor until morning.
Let's see if we can do something to accelerate the process.
Our enemies will suffer.
I don't think I have to, or I should either. Let's train a couple of units here, and then we'll return to mainland to take out Damascus, because I don't want a rebel city in Syria. What do we want from our army here? We don't face any imminent threat, right? Let's take out
How
these
may I
units.
serve, Sultan?
The cavalry is more than
Na'am.
enough
Sultan.
to hold the frontier.
Orders.
Let's not hold more units than we need to.
You want us
They are
gone?
not
Then do
disembarking,
something about it.
which is a bit troublesome. Let's take out this rebel unit.
Sultan, your enemies shall fall swiftly. A crushing victory, my
Let's take out this rebel
Yes.
unit.
Sultan.
They are interfering
Inshallah,
with our
none
trade
of them shall
routes.
escape us.
Royal letter. If some among them are innocent, it is prison that should be essayed like gold first. Oh, okay.
Unit, await my orders.
Start the battle. Let's send the cavalry archers forward. These are probably spearmen, all of them. Peasant spearmen, I guess. Let's send the cavalry archers forward, harass them, and then we can charge at them and break their lines, kill every last one of them. Let's force them to march a bit before they can reach us. Station our troops a bit back here. So we're showering them with arrows. These are peasants. Militia and peasants. But just look at the shower of arrows that they're facing right now. And what can they do in response? Nothing, literally nothing. And that is this futility, this hopelessness is exactly what the Mamluks were best at. I mean, forcing the enemy into a spot where advancing was difficult and retreating was even more difficult. Let's go and face them. Charge them.
The enemy of victory is well within our grasp. Time our foe will surely see this. Praise be to Allah! The enemy's general lies dead.
We
Now
have
his men can
conquered
sense their
pretty
blood.
much.
Praise to Allah! You have left our enemy lost. They run like children. Scour them from the field.
No. Now, all that remains to be done is to just kill the remainder. That's it.
Great victories are like sweet nectar. Come, let us drink.
We have crushed the rebels in the area. That's good. Much needed experience.
Such is the fate of all infidels who face me. Our enemies will suffer.
We've got major rebel forces here,
Sibni Lawadi. Infidel.
and Nicosia. Yes, we can train navy too.
Na'am, great Sultan.
Enter. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I've traveled to mainland England, I guess.
The infidels
Oh,
attack
come
our
on,
fleet.
give me a break.
Withdraw! Inshallah, we will survive. Inshallah, the winds shall return tomorrow.
Let's try and regain our naval strength to strike back at the Byzantines. They can spend more at the navy right now, but once they've lost roads as well, that shall be a major blow to their morale. Turkish merchants trying to encroach on our trade, but failing repeatedly. I don't think I need to go at war with the Turks. I mean, I can start my string of conquests in Europe from Byzantine Empire's Greek holding. Explore guide. What does it do? Okay.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
It makes
Horse set.
our
Orders,
troops
mighty
better at
Sultan.
traveling.
Orders, mighty Sultan. Orders, mighty. Yes, merging with the fleet. Inshallah,
Fleet
our
merger.
winds shall be fair. Inshallah, the winds shall return tomorrow.
Let's retrain these,
Orders, mighty Sultan.
and soon enough we shall be retaliating massively against the Byzantines everywhere. In 3 turns, Rhodes is going to fall. No military threat in sight. I'm not sure what
We
the
will not
Venetians
surrender
are
these
planning
waters
here,
easily.
and thus I must practice caution.
Orders, Na'am Sultan.
Better to be careful than sorry.
Yallah! The sun sets on
Is there
today's
a
journey.
general here? No, there isn't. So let's send one. Jerusalem. Acre, no general here. Let's send a general to Acre as well
Sultan,
to manage the city. Antioch also lacks a general.
infidels
So
to
let's
kill,
send
Sultan.
one to Antioch.
Marching no further.
Aleppo and Damascus will be our next targets soon enough. But once this threat of this Venetian navy, once this dissipates, we can do something about Aleppo too. And end turn. 3 more turns and Rhodes is going to surrender. And then we'll have complete hegemony over the Mediterranean region, despite Byzantine naval advantage. Once we control these islands, we will be able to counter-attack their navy time and again, quicker than they can replenish their troops. Of course, the economic problem is still there, but that too shall pass in a couple of turns. Matter theology in sky, and okay. Just making more and more guides. I'm not sure if they even
Great Sultan.
help us in the game.
Course set. Orders, mighty Sultan.
Recruiting more. Yes.
What is the Sultan's will?
Let's move.
We move, Sultan. Our enemies will suffer.
Let's
We
move.
move.
What else? What else? 2 turns. How many turns do we have? Number of turns. 166 turns remaining. And we need to hold 45 regions. How many do we have right now? 11. So we got a lot more to be done. But not to worry, the last 100 turns will be much faster than these. Enter. We don't have the economic muscle right now to rapidly expand our empire on multiple fronts, so I'm trying to keep it minimum. We're operating right now in the Mediterranean. Once we've done that, we can give our Mediterranean armies some respite and begin our attacks in the Middle East, and then so on and so forth. The Byzantines are regrouping in Asia Minor. We will have to face them in Asia Minor. Once Rhodes is taken care of, we'll call this army back to well, the Holy Land as originally planned, and then face the Byzantines there. A boon for builders. The tales of a clever invention from the Far East has recently inspired European peasants to come up with a simple laborer's aid they are referring to as the wheelbarrow. By placing a wheel at the front of a wooden stretcher, it has been discovered that the lone worker can move a heavy load of stone on their own, with little risk of injury. It could be as much of a boon for those seeking to raise castles in quick time as it can be for the serfs who shall have to build them.
Na'am, Sultan.
Can we make paved roads? Port. Where do we have? What did it even be worth it? Well, let's see what happens when we make a port here. What can we make? Warehouse. Yeah, sure.
Orders, mighty Sultan.
Let's
Na'am,
train
great
more
Sultan.
ships here.
Yes, Sultan. Like the weary camel, now we must rest.
So the Venetians are retreating now. We can come forward with our army up north
Ubedak.
Orders. How may I serve, Sultan?
near Jerusalem. Yes, and now we need to take care of the rebels in the area, and of course this Byzantine threat
Come
that is
face me!
coming to face now. Let's recruit the navy here and transport these troops to mainland of the Holy Land, the Levant. One more turn and Rhodes is going to surrender. The Byzantines are yet to suffer another major blow in the Mediterranean. Let's let the Turks take them out of Adana. I want the Turks to consolidate power in Asia Minor, whereas I take on the Byzantine holdings in West. And if the Turks try to cross me, well, they will see why my empire
We
is
shall
the
not
biggest of
leave
all.
any of the infidels alive! To battle!
So they have come forward to face us in battle, and now is the time for us to completely obliterate this Byzantine force.
Unit!
There's no room for haste. No room for haste. Let us just carefully assess the situation first. What does the enemy possess? So these are spearmen, spearmen, spearmen. Some form of a captain, cavalry, missile cavalry, spearmen and spearmen. So, and archers. And that's pretty much it. Why not place our infantry troops forward? You know, infantry is comparatively cheaper to hire anyway. Let's put them forward, and the infantry will keep them busy while we attack them with our missile cavalry. And when they try to attack us head on, we can always massively retaliate with our cavalry contingents. We do have strong cavalry troops here. Let's go and harass them. This is going to be an easy battle despite the numbers being in the favor of the enemy. The numbers are in our favor. No. The numbers are in our favor. They were initially in the favor of the enemy, but we reversed those numbers. So a fairly easy battle to be fought. Let's take care of the enemy's general first. I mean, what kind of sick logic is this, where you throw a couple of arrows at the enemy and get showered by their arrows and don't do anything about it? This captain is probably going to die very soon enough. Just keep on pushing, men. Cavalry archers doing their best to utterly vanquish the enemy's ranks. Hit and retreat, hit and run tactics, the perfect
Our men are under
way
attack.
of,
We need to act.
let's land a charge at the spearmen engaged in battle so that we can disperse these units quickly. They're already engaged in battle, so were caught off guard, and now let's just send this lone unit up there, and we need to safeguard our general's bodyguard here. Perfect. Let's go and take out their archers. The battle is pretty much over now. Their lines are broken. There is no cohesion. There's nothing that they can do now to save themselves.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Yeah, I can see that. Now let's send our cavalry archers forward to quickly and with lightning speed
The enemy general flees like an
to
old woman.
inflict
Attack!
the damage,
And break the
as
will of
much
his
damage
men.
as possible on these retreating troops. Now we can speed it up. We've won the battle anyway. We can speed things up now. And just look at the carnage. Look at the carnage. Look at the carnage here. The Byzantine troops lying lifeless here. This is how mobile forces can make an impact. Let's go. Face them. And let's go and finish them off, whatever remains of them. Let's go.
My lord, wisest one, we have lost control of the castle. Our foe
We
fights with
are
horns
going
made
to
of
take
clay.
over the castle
We are
now.
winning the battle.
And I
Praise me
think
to victory is ours. The
we won.
Victory both righteous
with
and well
just
deserved.
78 men
It cannot
lost,
be said
we
otherwise.
utterly destroyed the enemy's forces. This is what you call a remarkable victory,
We showed the enemy no mercy, Sultan.
as was
I
expected.
swore they would regret resisting us, Sultan. And
Sack
they
the settlement. Take over. Antioch might rebel. What are the Turks up to now? The hero of Zero, a mathematician from Pisa by the name of Fibonacci, has published a new work entitled Liber Abaci. He has adopted some Hindu-Arabic theories involving a number that has no value, claiming that it is a vital step in making calculations on a grand scale. Despite managing to excite Western scholars, the Liber Abaci's revelations offer few insights to the common man, who typically spends all his life dealing with things of no value. I like these little tidbits every now and then. Recruit a merchants warfare, improve the policy, more archers. That will help us settle the situation a bit.
Infidels to kill,
And
Sultan.
we have now sent a military leader to manage the city.
Orders, mighty Sultan. Na'am, great Sultan.
Our faction
Inshallah,
is doing
our
well
wind shall be fair.
for itself, I guess. Rhodes is also now a part of our empire. We control the Mediterranean. And now I think is about time we began sending some of our troops from Rhodes to the mainland, but I think we'll do that in the next episode where we take over rebels in Syria. Until then, this is Gaming Dragon 360. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. If you liked it, then please do express your liking for it by clicking like button below, and subscribe to my channel. I post videos for my gameplays every day with and without commentary. Thank you so much for watching. This is Gaming Dragon 360 signing off.